How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Horror Vision. Today we're back at the Vault of Horror, where every horror movie, past, present, and future, has been locked inside. You guys may be wondering here, is there a Halloween movie that was actually trying to be based on Halloween? Well, it has the title. Pardon that. It's a text message from the people from this place. They basically want to make sure that this place is locked up tight, and I am going to make sure of that. I hadn't even touched the door since Jaws. So, today we're going to be looking at the 1978 classic from John Carpenter, Halloween. Halloween was released on October 25th, 1978. Director John Carpenter's movie is based on something very odd for you, but kind of interesting. On a cold Halloween night in 1963, 6-year-old Michael Myers brutally murders his 17-year-old sister Judith. He was sentenced and locked away for 15 years. But on October 30th, 1978, while being transferred for the court date, a 20-year-old Michael Myers steals a car and escapes Smith Grove. He returns to his quiet hometown of Haddonfield, Illinois, where he looks for his next victims. Halloween is by far one of my favorite horror movies of all time, and probably because of the fact that it kind of is basing off of serial killers, mostly serial killers, so to speak. I mean, there were really good performances, but I have to give a credit to John Carpenter directing the film. He does a really good job, and this is a really low-budget film at approximately $325,000 US. But it really sells it because 89% of people love this movie. IMDb gives this a 7.8 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gives this a 96%. And Metacritic scale gives it an 81%. This movie shines through. Jamie Lee Curtis, which is the daughter of Janet Leigh from Psycho, does a very good job of becoming, well, of course, Laurie Strode, which they call her the Scream Queen, as they call her, because she screams so loud it hurts your ears. But the one thing I also love, like Donald Pleasence as, well, Dr. Loomis. He is basically the character that it wants Michael Myers either dead or alive. He knows that whatever was hiding inside this guy was evil. But the one thing that steals the show is the serial killer himself, Michael Myers. The man himself can never die. That's what part of his movies were. He couldn't die, not even through bullet wounds. Not only that, he is a man who will stop at nothing to destroy anything that comes in his way. But we all know that even in the Halloween films, continuity is not as good as, like any of the other ones, including Friday the 13th, but we'll get to that one if we get to it. But we'll get to the straight parts here. Halloween 2 actually killed him off. He was literally burned to a crisp. So John Carpenter started fresh with Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. However, people were very pissed at it. Not because, like, if the movie was good or not, I hadn't even seen Halloween 3. But people were pissed at it because there was no Michael Myers on it. So, they actually raped this whole movie into a franchise. So that's why we got all these movies to this date, including a new 2018 version, which is a really good movie. I'd rather let you guys go find it online, or at least find it on DVD. It's a good movie. The actual, like, John Carpenter Halloween theme is one of the best themes ever. The original is always going to be the best. We already know that. The other ones are good, but they're very stale. We'll put that. But there are some exceptions if you look at my favorite musics video. Yeah, Halloween is by far an iconic movie. But let's go a little bit deeper. Halloween has become a very low-budget movie back in the 70s, so they had to at least think of something that at least is cheap enough for them to use to their advantage. For instance, the mask. It was a William Shatner mask that was literally just painted white, hair was messed up, and they had to remove the eyebrows. So, literally, this is a William Shatner mask. And it kind of fits the theme of it. They also had to at least go through a couple of houses. I think they had to just use a couple of houses and then that was it. Again, fake props, as we all know, and there was not much blood in there either. There's not even a lot of blood on there due to the fact of it being a low-budget style movie. There was not a lot of blood. They had to at least put some very cheap stuff. But it sold it because of the creepy fact that it's a serial killer stalking your houses wearing a William Shatner mask with some type, I think, auto parts, clothing, and just a kitchen knife just ready to stab you. And it's a long kitchen knife. I had never seen long kitchen knives before. Literally, I never seen them before in my life. That's a big one. And I always like how they always put the woman fighting back. I always never liked that women are just scaredy cats. They're just the type of stuff that you would see on like display or something. Like usually they're just the set itself, you know? I like how they are something. They at least move. They at least do something. They at least fight back. Why do you think in Terminator 2 Judgment Day, Sarah Connor fights back? Because they made her a little bit more developed. She has a little bit more. With Laurie Strode, she has a little bit more. She still is running away and stuff in like 1 and 2, but when they hit the rest of the sequels, she was badass. I'm telling you, she will do anything to stop Michael. Now, if I have to go through storyline about it, Film Comics Explained has already talked about it on YouTube. So I don't have to really talk about the storyline. I might when I talk about the sequels. But that is going to be for a story for another day. And even for that, like I said, it's locked up inside the vault. It's stuck in there. Michael Myers cannot get out to hurt us. This is pretty much one of the most classic movies ever. And if anybody talks about the Boogeyman, they're talking about Michael Myers.
What's the Boogeyman? As a matter of fact, it was.